Hello everyone and welcome to the Smashi Business Show. Today is Tuesday, August 5, 2025 and I'm Abdul Majid Awan.
And I'm Warid Ahmed and we've got a packed show for you today. So first up, we're going to discuss how TikTok has removed 16.5 million videos across the MENA region amid Egypt's 3-month deadline for content compliance. And secondly, Abu Dhabi's MGX is eyeing a $1 billion investment in this French AI startup. And the Salata founder, Georges Bandar, reflects on their 4 years of growth and their resilience in the UAE. And finally, Dubai's most expensive school begins hiring with fees hitting $56,000 a year.
The very first story is about one of the biggest social media platforms. We're live on that also. Thankfully, they haven't removed our live video. But TikTok has removed 16.5 million videos across the MENA region in the first quarter of this year. We're in the third quarter, so they now published the first quarter report. And all of those were removed for violating community guidelines, including content deemed inappropriate, hateful, or harmful. Egypt ranked third globally with more than 3.6 million removals behind Iraq's 10 million videos. 10 million live videos were removed, or the people who were doing the videos were banned. Then Lebanon, UAE, and Morocco also saw over 1 million takedowns each.
So, in fact, this is actually happening as Egypt's National Telecommunications Regulatory Authority has given TikTok a very strict 3-month deadline to regulate content and comply with local social and moral standards. So authorities basically want tougher controls to curb immoral content. Now, this follows growing concerns over inappropriate videos, sparking arrests, including content creator Suzy El Ordonia, detained for violating family values.
And the ongoing tension between TikTok and Egyptian authorities reflects wider regional pressures on digital platforms. Recent enforcement spikes align with TikTok appointing Erika Mindel, a former Israeli military instructor, as global hate speech policy lead. Weird appointment, but a move that has drawn criticism amid sensitive Middle East political dynamics.
And so other MENA countries reported high content removal. So just to go into those numbers more specifically, Lebanon got 1.35 million videos removed. The UAE got 1.05 million videos removed. And Morocco is at 1.04 million videos. Now, TikTok's moderation combines automated systems and human review to enforce rules, aiming to protect users while navigating complex regional cultural norms and regulations.
And amid these challenges, TikTok faces scrutiny in the US too. During the period when the platform risked a permanent ban, the Times revealed the Free Palestine hashtag amassed over 82.6 million views, highlighting TikTok's role as a major platform for political expression and raising further debate on content regulation globally.
I don't know whose work this might be here, Majid. Like, I think for me, when I took a look at the entire story, especially what's going on with Egypt, that they have this 3-month deadline for TikTok to basically create a more to basically curb the content and remove immoral content, as they would like to call it. For me, I just personally thought of Bilaban. You know, like, what if the Bilaban founder in like an all crazy scheme called President El-Sisi and said, listen, people are posting how disgusting my food is. They're posting the snails. That's where I saw those videos, by the way. I saw them on TikTok. There were basically Lebanon desserts that all of the Egyptians were basically showing how they would have like worms in them. Like, this is why I could never order bleban again, and I live in the UAE.
So you think
and
Bilaban's owner
I
called
just
CC
don't
and
know. I just don't know. And by the way,
TikTok.
you know what the entire comment section would be, Majid? Not everyone was like clapping for that girl for showing her dessert. They were actually saying, hey, like, you know, asturihum al-sutra in Arabic, Majid, means like cover up for the person. Like, say, Majid, you did something scandalous and like I talked about it in my community, in the Arab community. They're like, no, you should not embarrass people like that. You should keep it on the low. And this is definitely what's happening here, I think. I think that a lot of people are definitely coming out with truths, embarrassing truths that people should not know.
TikTok, again, social media since the last two-ish decades, I won't say a lot, but two-ish decades, it's been a bane of existence for a lot of people. the governments, the regulators, the social media platforms themselves, they have a big problem to solve because there's a lot of content that does not follow the community guidelines, but there is so much content going out every single second, not even a minute. In a second, I think at least 1,000, 200,000, 300,000 videos are published. How do you monitor all of them? You use AI, obviously, you use internal systems. TikTok, every social media platform has internal computer-based systems which report a video and then they block it or something. But then you need human interference as well sometimes in cases when, for example, they remove a video from our profile, we will fight back like, why did you remove this? There is no community guideline that is being crossed. And then comes the human phase where a human interacts with you and be like, okay, we'll have a human look at it. So there's so much involved in all this process. The good thing I think is I've been on the dark corners of TikTok. I've been on the dark corners of all corners of all social media platforms. Basically, I think my generation was the first one which was introduced to Facebook, MySpace. There was something called Orchid. You would look at it and laugh at it. It was so basic. There's so many things that started in our time. So literally those platforms grew with us and we grew with them. So we saw policy change, we saw content moderation becoming stricter on everything literally. Apart from X is still not very nicely moderated, that is my opinion. All other social platforms are very highly monitored, and the main thing I personally feel from this story is that at least they're taking action. They don't want the kids, they don't want adults, they don't want anyone being affected by the content. And it's not just, to be honest, I should use the word pornographic content. It's also harmful content which can lead to brainwashing. Why am I in the brain drain mode? Brainwashing. You can teach kids this, you can teach kids that, because there's a lot of young audience on these platforms. Also recently I was looking in the morning, reading news, and Australia have banned YouTube for under 16-year-old. It's so weird. How will they implement it? That is the question. But they've banned YouTube for under 16-year-olds. So imagine the world. Australia is one of the countries which is taking this step. They banned social media platforms for 16-year-olds as well. So in November 2024, Australia's Parliament passed the Online Safety Amendment, Social Media Minimum Age Act. So that mandates children under 16 from having accounts on social media platforms. Social media platforms allow that, but Australian government won't allow that. And you get hefty fines. There's like $50,000 fines on parents if their kids are seen using social media. So that is the kind of problems the social media has created. And I think the most affected are the young and the kids. So good removal if it didn't follow community guidelines. Also, I think it's the law of the land, I think. If you're in UAE, there's certain laws, you follow the laws. If you're in France, you follow the laws. It's like on social media platforms also.
No,
you have a community guideline, that is the law of
you kicked out. I remember there was this influencer, Majid. I don't remember if she was in the UAE or Qatar or Saudi, but remember she was saying something online and she got herself deported. It's like,
Here?
I'm not sure it was somewhere in the GCC,
Okay.
but she got deported because of something that she was saying. And this brings me to my point of be very careful of what you're distributing online. I'm not saying don't have fun, but whatever you say may cost you your future career. It can quite literally cost you everything. And
here in the UAE, to be honest, I love some things. I see news. We all see news. There's Khalid Times, there's Gulf News, there's the National, always reporting on them that some guy went to a restaurant's page and wrote a bad review. And the guy would be like, I will put a case on you. Why would you say this? And sometimes the restaurant owner wins, sometimes the guy gets a clean slate. So it's very complicated, but it's, to be honest, the idea here, what I have seen, again, compared to my country where I come from that side of the world, from far east. I remember the video. Have you seen that video? That Egyptian, she's an Egyptian intellectual. She's such a nice woman. I've started following her religiously.
Are you talking about the September 11 video?
No. The lady who said that, why do you call it Middle East? I take offense.
Yeah.
You shouldn't call it that one. So I started following. She died, I think, last year, but there's a lot of content about it. And the very funny thing she says is, why do you call it Middle East? Because London was the center, and this was a British colony, so everyone called it Middle East because it was middle to London and then Far East. So I come from Far East, but in those countries, I have realized there's even in underdeveloped countries, I would count at least 70, 80 countries in the underdeveloped list, which have zero social media rules. The kids who are at a formative age, 13, 14, they're looking at content, and being like, okay, we want to become this, this, this. Oh, we want to do this. There's a very famous YouTuber in Pakistan who actually drank diluted acid because someone literally told him to. And he was doing challenges, and there's a lot of examples.
You know what? I saw this thing where there was these two children. You know what they did? They basically sat under the train. They sat in the railway. They shoved themselves in, and then the train went, and their friend filmed it. And I believe they imprisoned them or something. And they were laughing, by the way, but that could have gone so wrong.
Yeah. So all these ideas come from the idea of social media virality. I do this, I get viral, I get followers, I will have millions, I will become Mr. Beast, I will become this, that. That's the idea, I think, and there is a very big debate right now in intellectual circles what to do about it. How do you control it? I think Australia went one step further. It shouldn't be like they should be banned from using anything. I think they revised it later. They added WhatsApp. They even in the start they were like, no WhatsApp even. But then they revised it, and then they made WhatsApp accessible to 16-year-olds because obviously communicating with parents and everything.
Like just on the topic of numbers, you know that last year TikTok's ad spend was $10 billion. And this was alone in the US. I'm not sure about the MENA region because of the fact that the content rates in the US don't apply to us the same way they might apply to Canada or America. But I think that TikTok has monetized in a way in which this might be why TikTok feels that it needs to control all of this. If they don't control all of this, if they don't listen to all of these countries in the Arab region, then they might risk to lose a lot of revenue because some of the biggest Arab influencers are on TikTok. You have Nareen Beauty, Shireen Beauty, Noor Stars. All of these people are on the app. They built such a huge influence. They're doing a lot of advertisements on there, so they can't risk losing the app. They unfortunately cannot have it be banned here because the influencer market is so big. It's projected to be $18 billion, I believe, by 2030, according to PwC. So there is so much money to be lost here if the app does go away, because we do live in a region where it's not like America. I would not say that you don't have free speech because that's what America calls it, but you can't just go around saying whatever you want and not caring about the kind of effect that you will have on people.
See, in closed circles, in friends, inside your house, in a private setting, you can do whatever you want. No one says anything. In the UAE, you're allowed to do whatever you want until and unless you don't invade anyone's privacy, you don't cause public disturbance. So even if you're protesting on the road, you're actually causing public disturbance. And I really love that rule because in Pakistan, every day I would go on the road
trying to get to work,
and there'll be like 200 people sitting on the road, and I know they're protesting for the right reasons. But again, the people who should actually listen to the complaint, they don't get affected. The normal people are disturbing normal people's life because then normal people get late to the hospitals. I remember there was a time in the 90s where there were so many strikes. All of the businesses shut down. All the multinationals left Pakistan. There was a little bit calm after that. But all these things actually are a nuisance for public life. So I think this is great. I gave you an example. I loved that part where COP28 in Dubai, they made a whole section for protesters. They were like, we know you will protest. We know you will do it for the environment. We welcome it. Do it, no problem. But this is your region. This is your area. Do the protests here. Whoever wants to cover you, media, anything, they'll cover you. So your protest will be registered. You'll be controlled in a system. So they create a system for literally everything, even for protests.
No, but Majid, I agree with you in the sense of I completely understand why protests are banned here because, like, if you actually think about it, I think everything with the UAE, everything is honestly rooted down to their economy. They do not want their economy to slow down. we saw that with the Eid holidays. We had one day less than all of the other GCC countries. But I think that when you have that kind of unrest going on, people are not going to focus on the job.
And
They
there's
won't.
one very interesting point. I think I was in a group of friends and we were discussing it. I think the Bangladesh protest, when Bangladesh government was upheaved, the Prime Minister Hasina Wajid, I think, she left the country in emergency. All of that was happening, and a few people started protesting in the UAE, and it's not allowed. It's illegal. They were jailed, but after some time, some of them were forgiven by the president of the UAE. If you take that example, and then you look at the multicultural context of UAE, every single nationality here has something going on in their country. So if everyone starts protesting, there will be like 100 protests every day, or at least a rally or something in support of the country behind. It's impossible. So that multicultural context also gives you no space for protest. Because if Pakistanis are like, we want to protest for something, they will protest. So it's good. The idea is good. But TikTok, yeah, thankfully, they've banned a lot of videos. I think some of them would be good videos, but you can always protest, go back, say, no, it wasn't wrong. It followed your community guidelines. The next story that we have is from Abu Dhabi. Abu Dhabi-based AI investment firm MGX is reportedly in talks to invest $1 billion in the $1 million funding round for French AI startup Mistral. According to the Financial Times, this deal could raise Mistral's valuation to $10 billion and support the launch of its chatbot LeChat, basically, and LLM development.
So MGX was formed in 2024 as a joint venture between Mubadala and G42. It has already backed major players like OpenAI and joined a $30 billion global AI infrastructure partnership. I believe it involved BlackRock. Now, this move highlights MGX's growing role in the worldwide AI development race and deepens France-UAE tech collaboration.
The investment aligns with plans for a 1 gigawatt AI data center jointly developed by the France and the UAE. Abu Dhabi aims to establish itself as a global AI hub. We all know that. A good job. They're doing a good job, actually, attracting significant capital and technology partnerships that bolster its leadership in foundational AI and technologies and innovation ecosystems.
So finalized, MGX's investment would be a major boost for Mistral, a promising startup aiming to compete with US AI giants such as OpenAI and Google. Now, the funds will help accelerate Mistral's open source large language models and expand its footprint in the competitive AI chatbot market.
And the deal also underscores the UAE's strategic ambition to be at the forefront of AI innovation globally. MGX's expanding portfolio in AI infrastructure, platforms, and startups is a part of broader vision to secure a leading position in the rapidly evolving artificial intelligence landscape worldwide. Have you tried Leisha?
Never, but you know what? You
Very
have.
interesting, yeah.
How do you try all of them?
I would give credit to TechCrunch. I usually read their newsletter, and whenever some chatbot comes out, they're like, oh, there's a new player in town. So I tried that. I have it in my phone. It's not that good. It's just good. It's not that good. But the only good thing about it is it's open source, so you can use it. You can program it like you want. The whole code is there. You can use it as you want. So that's the only USP that they're counting on. But 10 billion evaluation, I think, is good.
Look, I think with this story, I just find it so endearing how MGX, the UAE, just want to be everywhere. They want to take over everything, and the reason why I say endearing is because I have a love for this. Like they're very transparent about it. You know, Group CEO of Mubadala, Khaldoon Al Mubarak, admitting that they hold 40% of AI investments in the US, and then now they're coming into France, and then they're going to be really close with Macron. I mean, this is great. I mean, this company, by the way, they're in charge of building this very large AI data center outside of France. The reason why I look at them and I think they're so important is because they're quite literally the French Sam Altman. That's what they are. You know, they're building something important. And the fact that the UAE took the step to realize, okay, so you have Sam Altman, he's the best in the US. You have Jensen Huang. We have to team up with them, and we need to be a part of the $500 billion Stargate project, which is coming to Abu Dhabi soon, inshallah. And then they look at France, and they're like, oh my God, you have these 3 French men. We need to team up with them, and we need to make sure
Yeah.
Do you see what they're
Literally
doing?
part of everything.
This is a takeover. This is a
Yeah.
complete takeover, and I'm
MGX
proud of them. They're doing great.
MGS, I think, is one of the only companies in the world right now who have the highest number of like AI chatbot startups. Basically, they've invested in OpenAI funding. When last year, third or fourth quarter, Sam Altman raised $40 billion, biggest funding round. MGX was part of it. XAI, indirectly, they also own some stuff in XAI, so they've invested in XAI, that's Grok. Perplexity, they are trying to get something into it. Anthropic, recently we saw Financial Times said that Anthropic funding, they're trying to get in. So literally every startup that has a chatbot, MGX is right now open for business. Just come contact them and be like, thank you very much for the money.
And they always do this actually. Like for
Yeah.
example, in Saudi Arabia, you have
Yeah.
Al-Walid bin Talal. He owns 2% of Snapchat.
Yeah.
I know that we always talk about how he's the second largest shareholder of X, but him having 2% of Snapchat, I mean, these these AI investments are so important to them. Being a part of these tech companies specifically is so important, and they recognize how far they're gonna go.
And the investments go up. That's the important thing. Just to give you one last number before we move on to Salata. MGX is a $100 billion giant, and they want to double that $100 billion into $200 billion by 2030. So that gives you a perspective
They
of
were founded
why.
in 2024.
Yeah, last year, literally last year, and they want to double their money in 5 years. Very good idea. Next up, we have a very interesting story. There's a founder, Georges Bandar, founder and CEO of UAE-based Salata. It's a food startup. He marked the brand's 4-year anniversary with a heartfelt LinkedIn post. I really like the lessons that he put. We'll tell you about that. He described the company's rise from a simple idea to a nationwide food brand serving thousands, emphasizing the challenges and realities of building a business in the UAE.
So Bandar stressed the importance of perseverance, stating no shortcuts, no comfort zones, no guarantees. He highlighted that the UAE market demands constant evolution, noting you either evolve or you disappear. I have not heard something more true. His reflection serves as a guide for entrepreneurs navigating this like very fast-paced and competitive region, I feel.
And one of Bandar's key lessons is that speed matters, but consistency is essential for longevity. Brand is built day to day, in every order, every delay, every comeback. He said, this focus on reliability and steady growth has helped Salata carve out its strong market position in the UAE.
And looking ahead, Bandar shared that Salata's journey is only beginning. He emphasized the human element behind the brand's success. People make the business, the team, the customers, the community. You know, that's the real asset there. Now, this underscores, you know, that they know the value of building a lasting network and relationships in the UAE.
And lastly, Bandar's candid insights offer valuable lessons for startups and scale-ups in the region. The 4 lessons that he has in that LinkedIn post, you should follow that and you will 100% be a success story. 1, consistent.
I think they're trying to be like Joe and the Juice, by the way.
Yeah.
Because it's called salata, so salad in Arabic. So there's definitely a similarity there. And for our final topic of the day, GEM School of Research and Innovation has started recruiting teachers ahead of its opening this month. It's launched in Dubai Sports City. Now the school is hiring for English, math, humanities, Arabic, robotics, and more. And it's preparing to open Dubai's highest fee campus.
Yeah, and annual tuition fees ranging from 116,000 AED in FS1, basic level, to $80,000 to $106,000, $56,000 basically in year 13, setting a new benchmark in Dubai's premium education sector. The $100 million campus is supported by Oman's Izdihar Real Estate Fund, which invested in the project's real estate development.
So the state-of-the-art campus has robotics labs, VR-enabled classrooms, and disruption lab designed to foster innovation and research. And honestly, this just really shows how GEMS, it has this very, I feel like, forced expansion strategy. They have over 200 schools around the world opened. It's crazy.
And founded by Indian-born billionaire Sunny Varki, whose net worth Forbes estimate at $4 billion, GEMS Education operates over 250 schools across 13 countries. Varki's vision for this flagship campus emphasizes a blend of elite educators and AI-driven tools for a next-generation learning environment.
So the new school aims to have this global research hub with a strong focus on student well-being and personalized learning. Now, with this entire school, you know, it's meant to be the rich kids school in Dubai for
With
billionaires'
a
kids.
helipad.
And look, listen, it's like for I think the last age group, the school is worth $56,000. And
Yeah.
you know, for people who might think, why are we using dollars? We don't just write about Dubai citizens. We don't just write for the UAE. But you know what it is, Majid? I know a lot of teachers in my life, and let me tell you something. Some of these teachers come from low-cost schools,
Yeah.
and they're being hired in this school.
Nice.
That is the top tier education that you're being given. So if you think about this very like smartly, you'd be like, wait, where did these teachers come from? Because of course, if they're going to build this school, by the way, they announced this like just very recently in
Yeah.
the beginning of the year. And then they're opening it now in August, and they're telling you that your child is going to get the best education in the world. No, they're just going to hire UAE teachers within this, you know, within the Dubai school ecosystem. So technically, you can be afforded the same education everywhere.
Yeah.
And you know what shocked me, Majid? When I was on their website and I was looking at the the different jobs you can apply for, I basically just wanted to go straight to the school. It doesn't say schools, it says companies.
Nice.
They define these schools as companies. Education has literally become a business. It has become
a
a
long
business, and I
time,
don't,
yes.
and I don't think, I don't know if I'm happy about that.
I think GEMS, the best thing about GEMS that I like is they have budget schools and then they have this. So GEMS has a very nice mix of budget schools. I went for my son to one of the branches. And they don't charge much. They charge, I think, 15 to 18,000 per year, dirhams also. So that's at least $4,000 or $5,000 a year. That's good. But you don't get a seat. That's the problem.
Oh.
So as soon as you're pregnant, you have to book a seat. Otherwise, you won't get a seat when the time comes. So obviously, it's low cost, it's high quality. So obviously, people will want their kids to go there. The only
I think
important
the
thing,
classes are probably what's good.
the infrastructure. I would
Yeah.
give you a very simple example before we wrap up. It's like you go to Carrefour, you buy their own baked fresh cookies from their own bakery. They'll cost you like 5 cookies for 10 dirhams. You go to Spinneys, you buy the same cookies for 25 dirhams. And then you order from a nice, very posh bakery. You get nearly the same cookies, not like exceptionally different, but basically nearly the same. Maybe hot, a little hotter, a little warmer, and a little softer, and maybe more gooier. But you'll get that for 50, 60 dirhams. It's the packaging. So this school has been packaged for, as Worth calls them, rich kids, people
Yeah.
who can afford it.
And,
I would say, but yeah,
I'm always a supporter
it's the packaging.
of education.
Everything is packaging.
Yeah, exactly. And you can imagine, because it's all going to be rich kids going there. They already have a great
You
network
expect a high school musical.
that will that will set them up for life. And that's a wrap for today, everyone. Thank you so much for tuning into the Smashy Business Show. Make sure to follow us across all social media channels at Smashy Business and stay ahead with our daily newsletter. You'll find the subscription link in the description.
This has been a Smashy Business Show, a Smashy Business production, part of the Augustus Media Podcast Network. A big shout out to our 2.5 million monthly listeners. I didn't get an update in the morning, but I'll tell you tomorrow what's the newest
Yeah.
number. But we're reaching for 10 million. And also, Lovin is celebrating its 10 years on September 1. We're doing a lot of surprises and a lot of things. You can go to Lovin Dubai, see all the videos that we're doing. Throwbacks of what happened in what year. It's a lot of content that we're putting out over the 10 years, what we did and what you guys made us do, what you guys sent us. So Augustus Media as a group is also celebrating a lot of good years. Thank you so much for having us. Thank you so much for joining us today. A lot of people joined us on Instagram Live. That is what I look at, but I'll start looking at TikTok Live as well since we did the story. Thank you so much. Have a great day. See you on Wednesday.